Okay, well, welcome to the camp. I was told by my sergeant that you wanted to be shown around my tent here. This is the camp that we're at right now. A picture of it is Camp Cody, it's called, and it's Deming, New Mexico. And this is my my cot that I sleep on, and I share this tent with four other individuals, four other guys. And this is part of my outfit. This is the helmet. I'll put the helmet on for you in that because, that's kind of the fun part of being here is you get to wear all kinds of equipment. This, of course, comes in handy when you're in the trenches because, there's going to be bullets flying all overhead and you want to protect your head there in the. And then this is the rest of the outfit that we have, the uniform. And this is the slacks we have, and these are called puttees, P-U-T-T-E-E. And when we're marching through the forest and that, it comes in handy to keep the debris out of our boots and so forth, and just to protect our legs. It's also made out of wool, so it keeps us warmer too. And people have said, well, they're kind of like wide pants. Why is that? And that's because many times we're kneeling down and we're shoveling, making our trenches deeper or making a foxhole in that, so we're using a shovel that's like that, and you have to be able to get up and down in that. It's also useful for wearing or riding horses, but we don't really have any horses here, but that's the same design. And this is probably our most important piece of equipment. It's a gas mask. And so, one of the things that we've heard is that the Germans are using poisonous gas, and it's called mustard gas, I believe. And so it goes into the trenches and it damages the lungs. So what we do in our training is that the sergeant will blow this whistle at any time when we're in camp, and we have to be able to get that gas mask on in a few seconds. Otherwise, you could get damage from the mustard gas. And then when we're in the trenches, if we ever hear a whistle like that, then we know that there's a gas attack on, and we need to put our gas mask on. Let's see. Oh, I should show you these here. These are wonderful boots. I don't know if you've ever seen boots like this. They're called trench boots, and they're very durable, so we can march many miles on that. And also it's good for traction when we're getting in and out of the trenches and that. So that's our boots. And of course I've got my soldier's French phrase book. So we're going to be going over to France, and it's going to be very important for us to be able to say bonjour and useful phrases like that. So we're in our spare time, which we don't have too much of in the training, we're learning phrases so we can speak to the French people when we get there. And let's see sure, I should show you this. I've started a letter to my mom, my mother. So I haven't gotten very far yet because they don't give us that much time off, but it's always important to write letters to our family so they know we're still, kicking and that, and we're always interested in how they're doing too. And so you've got to write a letter to get a letter back, see. So not always, I guess. Mom would still write a letter whether I wrote it or not. So, and then this is some of the equipment that we carry with us. These are the personal items. We've got some toothpaste and a boar bristle toothbrush, which is very good for the gums. And we've got a watch and a shave kit and a mess kit, which is the tin plate and spoon and fork. and then a water bottle and that. But
Okay. Well,
so I thought I'd show you some specific information about the draft. It was a draft because there weren't enough soldiers when President Wilson declared war. Our country needed us, especially after what they did. I don't know if you've heard about the Lusitania ship that was sunk with Americans on board, and they've been sinking our merchant marine ships. And then the Zimmerman telegram that Germany sent to Mexico, asking that Mexico help them against the United States. They said, if you help us, we'll give you back Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona. And that got our blood boiling. And so there was a lot of anger in the country after that. And so I believe that President Wilson declared war in April of this year, April 1917. And so he had to act very quickly and instituted the draft. And this is a notice in the Brownton Bulletin that there was going to be a draft and people needed to register. If you were 18 or 19 years old, you had to register. And they were taking people up to, initially up to 30 years, but because they didn't have enough recruits, they extended it to 45 years. McLeod County's quota, each state had to provide a certain number of men, and our quota was 26,000 that we had to come up with. So, and that was that's a short period of time to come up with that many workers here. And this shows an example of a draft card. This is an actual draft card for a fellow from Plato, Minnesota, and then this is the letter of induction into the military. And this fellow went into the military July of 1918, and that was close to the end of the war, but they were still drafting people. And this display, and these are all provided by the History Museum. These are all items that are at the History Museum. This talks about the training camp, and they had probably about 20 or so throughout the country. And this particular one that I'm at is Camp Cody in Deming, New Mexico. And so some of the artifacts that they have here, these are leggings for the officers and also the cavalry. They had enough leather for that, but they didn't have enough leather for us all to have those. And these are dog tags. I don't know if you can see those round items in there. And this helmet right here is what they call trench art. The whoever had this in the military, it looks like it donor's unknown, but he painted a star on front, and you can't really see it, but it's also got an American flag on it too. So and this is one of the artifacts from the museum. This is a regular hat that you'd wear when you were marching around and that. Unfortunately, my head is too big for it. So, but it is, I wish I had I'm going to get one there. They assure me that I'm going to have one before I leave camp here. So, but that, we like these uniforms, you know, they're very sharp. So, and this is, over here is another uniform and hat, and that's a picture of the family that, the person that wore it during World War I there. So, and so I've been here in the camp getting ready, and once we're trained, then I'm going to be going over to France, and this is a picture of some of the fellows heading over to France, and they're on board ship. Of course, we travel by ship, And I don't know if you can see it here, but they're waving to the Statue of Liberty. And looks like a cold day. So they're wearing their heavy wool coats, which one of which is right here. All wool, very, very warm, but itchy, scratchy. So, and then this is for the Navy, and then this is another. This is a wool equivalent to what I'm wearing right here. As you can see, the strings that you tie your pants legs up, and then you put the pooties around those. Then, so and then we've got a display of Red Cross workers. The Red Cross workers meet us at the railroad stations, and they, you know, it's like having a family member at the railroad station, and they give us donuts and knit us socks and so forth. In November of 1917, the United States started a program where if you had a family member in the military, you would hang a star in your window. And that would tell people that somebody in your family, your household, was serving their country overseas, and that, or in stateside. But these are examples of some of them that people in McLeod County had flying in their, hanging in their windows during World War I. And then if the person that was it was for was killed, then they would have a put this blue star over a gold star, and then that would be called a Gold Star family then. So, and then right behind you is a cabinet, and here's two of our volunteers. Two of our volunteers. And so the Red Cross. The Red Cross, nowadays the Red Cross helps with disaster relief and blood donations, but during World War I, they were in charge of knitting socks, getting people to knit socks for them, for the soldiers, and knit sweaters, and so forth. And they were not nurses; they were just lay people that wanted to volunteer. And that they did have Red Cross nurses, but they would have a different outfit on. But probably the best thing that the Red Cross ladies did was they gave me donuts whenever I traveled. When I was in a train station or in port or whatever, then that was a little bit of our family that, you know, was there greeting us with a smile and encouraging us with the donuts. And then let me show you over here. This all is, these are all items from the History Museum, and these are some of the books that are available there. And we, let's see, I'm running away from those, sorry about that. But we have a brochure about the museum, which is over by a popular restaurant in town that starts with B. And I won't mention names, on Highway 7. And we encourage people to come in and visit and maybe become a member. It would be wonderful if we could have you become a member. And these are some of the books. This is one of the latest ones about soldiers that wrote home during World War I to their families and what they were talking about and so forth. Just a little snippet of history there. So if you bought a membership for $25 a year, then you get this t-shirt. So that's a new fundraiser there. So, and I believe that we're going to be here till Sunday, and I hope that you can come down and visit with us. So.